Good morning, folks, and welcome to today's live market profile analysis by Tradeducation. We are at episode 273, and before I share today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade-related activity. Okay. So with that, let me just quickly share my screen and let's quickly run down, what is happening currently. Also, what has happened today. So one of the things, which I want to share is if you study the yesterday's market structure, some people would not consider it as a double distribution, but I was considering this yesterday's day as a double distribution, and this was the zone of, or the line of demarcation. So what happened was, so this is the where the auction opened, and it immediately started getting rejected, and it tagged the lower balance. So earlier it was finding rejection in the top of the balance, and it was finding acceptance in the lower balance or the bottom balance. So what I was looking at is while this auction was developing in the first A period, am I seeing a continuation to the downside or am I seeing a discontinuation? So that was what my observation was, and what I have done is so this is also an HVN and this is also an HVN. Yeah, so those HVN I was looking at, and so there was no continuation to the downside. So that's where I shorted 15,150 puts. So 15,150 puts I shorted, and I kept the target of the previous day's high. So that was one very slow trade which I was able to spot, and I exited with good profits. And now we are seeing a sort of rejection because this entire zone, so right from this 15,000, I think 380, 370. So this is where a lot of sellers are present. That's why the auction just went up, and now it is, seeing a sort of a rejection. Okay. So even though we are seeing selling coming in, you should not short because right now what I'm seeing is we have a single print here. So I'll be looking whether this zone or 11, 15 to 80 breaks or not. Because this is a sort of one-time framing. So one, two, three, and currently we are in the fourth period where the auction is just continuing and developing higher. So I would not short it right now the auction. So this is the current value. So right now the auction is trying to find acceptance within the current value. So just wait and watch and see whether this single print is intact or not. Because for me, this is the support zone. This is where again buyers will step in and they will try to continue higher. So just wait and watch. So today I'll be just observing whether this support zone stays intact or not. If it breaks, then we might see further more downside, but odds of that is pretty less. Second thing is, there are two consecutive lows. Today is the third low, so we are having higher lows. So based on the market structure, we are still in a bullish type of a scenario. So right now, I'm not seeing any trade opportunity. There was just one trade opportunity which I was able to spot, based on the double distribution phenomenon. Okay. Uh, yeah, so I think that's all. That's all currently which I'm seeing right now. Let me just jump into Bank Nifty and see what's happening there. I've not checked it at all. Okay. So in Bank Nifty, so Nifty and Bank Nifty, they are all in opposite direction. So Nifty is developing higher lows, whereas Bank Nifty is developing lower lows. So even this currently the low is not tagged, but since last 2 days, we have a good excess, we have a good spike, and that's where the rejection is seen. So uh, so this is where the rejection is seen. So Nifty is up, Bank Nifty is down. So I'm talking from the market structure or from the profile structure perspective. Yeah. I just trade in Nifty. I don't trade Bank Nifty because Bank Nifty for me is like a Bitcoin I'm not able to handle the volatility. So, because I'm a discretionary trader and I trade with very limited risk and limited capital. So that's why I'm just looking at Bank Nifty and just studying. So right now we have got multiple HVNs. From the structure perspective, we have got one more HVN here. So what has happened is till now, so this is where the auction opened, and this is the reference level. Auction went down, and this was another HVN. Again, the auction went up. We see selling coming in right now from this single print zone, because this is a selling zone. This zone and this zone is a selling zone. This is selling territory. So sellers are stepping in, and we have a low volume area node here. So we need to see whether we get accepted here or not. Or else what is going to happen is sellers will be getting trapped, and then we might see a bounce back to the upside. Okay. So I don't see any trade opportunity right now. Let it chop. Let the auction chop. Overall, the cumulative delta, I'm seeing that it's turning positive, and buyers are stepping in. So yeah, okay, that's what I am seeing right now in Bank Nifty. And let me just jump to crude oil. So what's happening in crude oil? So crude oil, so we have a sort of a P shape. This is the value, and the auction is now seeing some sort of rejection in the value. Yeah, so not even like I think I will be taking a long trade, keeping the target of PPOC, and my stop loss may be 5 points below the current future price. Yeah, so I see a long opportunity here, a fast trade. But apart from that, yeah, so it's very lackluster. The volumes, let me just see how are the volumes. Yeah, not so good volume flow. I think the UK market will open right now. Uh, yeah, and I think, yeah. So, okay, let me switch back to Nifty. And yeah, so we are still in that, we are still intact in the selling zone. I would say not the selling zone, but the, sorry, single print zone. Just a second, I'll slide it across. So this is the single print zone which I'm talking of. So this should act as the level of support currently. Uh, yeah. So just observe whether this zone is intact or not. And yeah. So I think that's what I wanted to share today. And let's again catch up tomorrow, the expiry day, and see what type of fireworks we see. Okay. So thank you. Take care and bye for now.